If you're planning on buying any cards from TCG Player, make sure you use our affiliate link right here in the description of our video to help support the channel. It's the best way to do it and it's free. Looking for PTGO codes? Poton Store has all the latest sets and promos instantly delivered to your email. You can use Tablemon code when checking out for 5% off. Card Market is Europe's largest online marketplace for Pokemon cards. Whether you're looking for sealed product or singles, vintage or the latest sets, just follow the link in the description to find what you need. This video is sponsored by the Pokemon TCG deck building website PokemonCard.io.
Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video here at Tablemon. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be taking a look at another new card from the Silver Tempest set. This time around we have REGILELEKI VMAX. Now, this VMAX is not going to be the main attacker, most likely in any deck, but it will offer support with its ability Electrical Transistor. Your basic lightning Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to the opponent's active Pokemon. So obviously we have a couple of good basic Pokemon that we are going to be using in this deck. And we do have the max rumbling attack doing 220 damage, and during your turn this Pokemon can't attack. Nothing to write home about. It is a good amount of damage. We do play Melanie in this deck to help power up, so we could attack with this Pokemon in a pinch, but we're most likely going to be focusing a lot more on both vikavolt V and Raikou V, which you can see on your screen. Now, vikavolt V, of course, the paralyzing bolt attack doing 50 damage and locking items is very decent. It is seeing play right now. I actually lost my win at Salt Lake City to that deck a couple weeks ago. But now with REGILELEKI VMAX, it's no longer only 50 damage. It gets increased to 80 with one REGILELEKI VMAX, 110 with 2, and potentially 140 with 3. So a really good amount right there. And all of a sudden the damage will be a lot more problematic. Something that would be a 4-hit KO or 5-hit KO all of a sudden starts becoming a 3-hit KO or a 2-hit KO. So it's less time that your opponent has to get out of the item lock when under pressure. And then we also have Raikou V as an attacker, which with its attack Lightning Rondo, you do 20 more damage for each benched Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, and every REGILELEKI instead adds 50, right? Because the ability does stack up, and it's 20 for being a benched Pokemon, and then 30 more for the ability. So you have a big hitter right there. And then we have the Ditto V to make sure that we can adapt to the situation and keep our opponent guessing as to which Pokemon we are about to become. Now we do have a copy of Drapion and Drapion V-Star. Drapion has a pretty cool Drapion V-Star, has a pretty cool ability, of course. The Hazard Star, once during your turn, you may make your opponent's active Pokemon paralyzed and poisoned, and during Pokemon checkup, you put 3 damage counters on that Pokemon instead of 1. And when your opponent is also under item lock from vikavolt, that means that it's basically a lost turn for them every single time, which is really, really impactful. No one's playing Bird Keeper. There's no reason really for you to play Bird Keeper right now. But yeah, there's it's basically like it's as good as using Dialga V-Star's attack combined with vikavolt, and it could be even better potentially if you manage to knock out a Pokemon during Pokemon checkup, because then you get another free turn thanks to that poison damage stacking up. So really cool V-Star to have access to. But we do have another of the new cards from the new set, which is the Forest Seal Stone, which does give any Pokemon this card is attached to a V-Star, right? Which this V-Star allows you to search your deck for any one card and put it into your hand. I'm going to shuffle your deck. So you basically get a mini Starbirth, right? But for any Pokemon, which is really, really good. But now this mini Starburst does mean that you're gonna get the item lock on turn 2, you're gonna get whatever card you need to counter your opponent, you're gonna get those REGILEKI's damage stacking up. So I like having that flexibility. This is what has been doing once again well in Japan, so I figured I would feature this deck. But the list in Japan did not include the Drapion V-Star, and having lost to vikavolt with Drapion V-Star, basically I lost because of a Drapion V-Star ability. Having played against the deck, knowing how powerful it is, and how that can potentially be a win condition, I felt like not having that in the list was a mistake. The original Japanese list only had the Forest Seal Stone as the V-Star inclusion, but I do think that the Drapion V-Star ability is actually quite underrated at this point in time, which I do like, since there's not a lot of switch cards being played in like rule box deck. Obviously, Lost Box decks are playing a bunch of switching cards to make sure that they can use Comfey, but every other deck is not using as much, so that Drapion V-Star can actually be very, very powerful. But yeah, outside of that, we have Radiant Greninja for extra consistency and to help discard water energies to power up through Melanie. We have the Ditto V, which can transform into any of the basic Pokemon V that we do have, and we have access to Luminion to search for that Melanie so that we can power up. Outside of that, we have the Research, we have the Melanie, we have the Boss Orders, and the Marnie. All those consistency cards, which are obviously very good. Then we have Quick Balls and Ultra Balls to search for the Pokemon that we need. No Evolution Incense, which is another small thing that I feel like, since REGILELEKI VMAX is so important in order to power up your Pokemon, then I do think Evolution Incense would be worth it. The deck does play Trekking Shoes. Everyone seems to like Trekking Shoes. I personally, like, obviously they're a good card, but I'm not sure they're better than having Evolution Incense in this deck, you know? That little bit of extra dig, I'm not sure how impactful it is. We also have 2 Escape Rope and 1 Switch. So this deck does have a few ways to switch out, especially since vikavolt and Drapion, both the V and the V-Star, do have hefty retreat costs. So having ways to get out of those is important. REGILELEKI VMAX does have free retreat, and all the other Pokemon do have 1 retreat cost, so it's not that impactful. But retreating vikavolt when you need to attack with Raikou, or retreating Drapion V-Star so it doesn't get stuck in the active without attacking, does seem pretty important to me. Energy Surge helps with having the right energy at the right time. Cape of Toughness makes the vikavolt even more threatening because it lasts more. And then we have the Forest Seal Stone, the Stormy Mountains for consistency, and the speed energies as well help round out the deck. So very annoying deck. It is low and steady wins the race, but it's less slow than the current vikavolt decks that we have right now. And you had Zapdos to increase your damage by 10 and 6 again to get that extra damage counter. Now you have a full-blown VMAX supporting your item lock. And historically, item lock has always been a very successful strategy, so I would not be surprised to see this do well. I'm sure someone will mention, yes, this absolutely loses to a Miltank. A single Miltank would completely wall this deck basically outside of Radiant Greninja, but of course you're expected to have to attack with, you can't expect to attack with Radiant Greninja enough times to beat Miltank, so you would need an answer to that if it does become more popular. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying this coverage of the new cards. We'll be taking a look at more of these in the coming days as we head to the Silver Tempest release. Thank you so much, and until next time. Bye-bye.